When you finally open your eyes to this pattern, it's almost shocking to see how deeply it has shaped our modern breakfast culture. Think about it. 100 years ago, our ancestors didn't wake up to bowls of artificially sweetened flakes or microwavable pastries. They might have had eggs from the backyard, a piece of real sourdough bread, maybe some leftover meat or cheese, and a cup of unsweetened tea or coffee. Simple, real food. Their blood sugar stayed stable. Their energy didn't crash. But somewhere along the line, clever marketing turned breakfast into dessert, and nobody noticed. Imagine little Timmy at the kitchen table. Cartoon characters. On his cereal box, bright colors promising whole grains and fortified with vitamins. His mom pours that bowl thinking she's doing something good for him. She doesn't know that many cereals marketed to kids are over 40% sugar by weight. In fact, some contain more sugar per serving than chocolate chip cookies. Think about that. For a second, we wouldn't let our kids eat cookies for breakfast every day, but cereal? No problem. Then we wonder why they're bouncing off the walls at school, struggling to focus, and crashing into fatigue by 10 a.m. And it's not just kids. Many adults believe they're too busy to cook a proper breakfast, so they grab something convenient. Muffins, croissants, bagels, all just different forms of sugar delivery systems that cause the same insulin surge, the same inflammation, the same gradual damage to your cardiovascular system. Even so-called healthy smoothies can be sugar bombs in disguise. One large store-bought smoothie can pack over 50 grams of sugar, more than double what the American Heart Association recommends for an entire day. The worst part? Most people don't feel the damage immediately. You don't eat that muffin today and feel your arteries clogged tomorrow. The human body is resilient. It fights to keep you alive even when you mistreat it. But inside, tiny cracks appear in your artery walls. Cholesterol particles sneak in, plaques form. You don't see them, but they're there. And one day, often when you least expect it, they rupture. That's when tragedy strikes. And people say, "But he seems so healthy." No one connects the dots back to the daily breakfast ritual that quietly stoked that fire for years. So what can you do instead? You need to understand what your body truly wants first thing in the morning. It doesn't want sugar. It wants nutrients that heal, not harm. High-quality protein is the cornerstone. Eggs, Greek yogurt with no added sugar, cottage cheese, even leftover chicken or fish if you can stomach it. Pair that with fiber-rich vegetables, a handful of nuts or seeds, maybe some berries for a touch of natural sweetness that doesn't send your insulin into orbit. And don't fear healthy fats. Avocado, olive oil, a pat of real butter. These help slow digestion, keeping your blood sugar stable and your hunger in check for hours. One powerful switch? Instead of orange juice, try a glass of water with a squeeze of lemon. Hydration helps thin your blood and keeps your heart from working overtime in the morning. If you like coffee or tea, enjoy them. But don't drown them in flavored creamers or heaping spoonfuls of sugar. Those tiny habits add up fast. And yes, there's room for bread if you choose wisely. Ditch the spongy white bread and look for true sourdough or sprouted grain breads that digest slower and provide real nutrients. Spread on natural nut butter instead of sugary jams. Small tweaks, big impact. It's fascinating how quickly your body responds when you give it the right fuel. Studies show that people who switch to a high-protein, high-fiber breakfast report less hunger all day, better focus, and even improved cholesterol numbers within weeks. And this isn't just about your heart. Stable blood sugar in the morning sets the tone for your entire metabolic health. Your brain stays sharper, your mood more balanced, your waistline more forgiving. You might be thinking, but I've been eating this way for decades. Is it too late for me? The answer is never. Your body is constantly renewing itself. Your blood vessels regenerate, your cells repair, your heart can grow new collateral vessels to protect itself. The moment you reduce that morning sugar, a salt, you give your cardiovascular system a chance to heal. That's the power of one simple choice repeated daily. It's not about guilt or fear. It's about awareness. The food industry is not your friend. It exists to sell you products that make you crave more. But your health doesn't come in a colorful box. It comes from real, unprocessed food that nature designed for you to thrive on. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for that cereal or pastry, pause. Ask yourself, does this breakfast feed my future, or does it fuel my decline? This tiny moment of awareness could be the turning point that saves you years of pain, expensive medications, and hospital visits down the road. Stay with me. In a moment, you'll hear real stories of people who transformed their lives simply by changing their breakfast and the hidden signs that your morning meal is quietly sabotaging you. The question is, will you take action, or will you let another sunrise be an opportunity wasted? Take a moment to picture this. A man named Robert, 72 years old, retired, living in a quiet neighborhood. For most of his life, Robert believed he was doing everything right. He avoided fatty foods. He chose skim milk over whole. He never added butter to his toast. Every morning, he'd pour himself a large bowl of raisin bran, sprinkle a little extra sugar on top because it's not sweet enough, and drink a tall glass of orange juice to wash it down. It became his routine, almost a comforting ritual, the way he told himself he was staying young, healthy, and energetic. But behind the scenes, that breakfast was setting him up for disaster. When Robert suffered his first heart attack, the doctor told him his arteries were so clogged, it looked like they'd been under siege for decades. The irony? He had never touched a cheeseburger in years, but he'd been slowly drowning his body in processed sugars, day after day, decade after decade. Then there's Eleanor, 66, who always prided herself on her healthy yogurt parfaits. She'd choose the low-fat fruit yogurts with the bright labels, add a handful of store-bought granola, maybe a drizzle of honey. It tasted delicious, but one single serving packed more sugar than a donut. Eleanor couldn't understand why her belly kept expanding, why she felt exhausted before lunch, why her doctor kept warning her about creeping prediabetes. It wasn't until her granddaughter showed her how to read a nutrition label, really read it, that the truth hit her like cold water. She switched to plain Greek yogurt, fresh berries, and a sprinkle of raw nuts. Within 6 months, her blood sugar improved, her energy came back, and she lost stubborn inches around her waist. All because she questioned that innocent breakfast. Bold. You see, the signs are often quiet. Slight morning brain fog you dismiss as normal aging. That extra inch of belly fat that won't budge, no matter how much you walk. The mild headaches, the mid-morning crashes, the sudden irritability if you miss your usual muffin or pastry. All subtle clues that your body is fighting an invisible battle against unstable blood sugar and inflammation. Left unchecked, this cycle doesn't just stop at diabetes or weight gain. It accelerates heart disease, shrinks your brain's ability to process information, and even affects your skin's elasticity, making you look older than you are. And what's worse, many people don't see the connection because these foods are packaged as healthy. But if your breakfast comes in a box, a bag, or a bottle, it's worth a closer look. Sugar hides under dozens of names: high fructose corn syrup, maltodextrin, cane juice, agave nectar. The list goes on. The less you recognize an ingredient, the more suspicious you should be. So, what can you do tomorrow morning that your heart, brain, and waistline will thank you for? Keep it simple. Think protein, healthy fats, fiber. Instead of cereal, try eggs, boiled, scrambled, poached, however you like them. Add sautéed spinach, sliced avocado, maybe smoked salmon if you want to feel fancy. If you're in a rush, a handful of raw almonds and a piece of cheese will keep you full far longer than any granola bar ever could. If you love bread, switch to a hearty, dense whole grain or true sourdough, something your body breaks down slowly without spiking your insulin. Hydration matters too. Many people wake up dehydrated, their blood thicker and more prone to clotting. Before you even brew your coffee, drink a big glass of water. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon for a gentle detox boost. Your blood will flow easier, your brain will feel clearer, and your heart won't have to pump so hard to push thick sludge through narrowed arteries. Another powerful tip? Break up with the fruit juice myth. Eat the whole fruit instead. An orange, eaten with its fiber, releases sugar gradually, giving you vitamins without the sugar slam of juice. A handful of berries adds antioxidants that protect your blood vessels. Nature's candy comes wrapped in fiber for a reason. Don't strip it away, Dot. It doesn't have to be complicated. And you don't need a perfect breakfast every day to make a difference. Just imagine the cumulative effect. Swapping that daily bowl of sugar flakes for an omelet, replacing that juice with water, choosing nuts over a donut. One small change every morning adds up to thousands of opportunities for your body to heal, recover, and thrive. If you've ever stood there, staring at your reflection in the bathroom mirror, eyes a little tired, shoulders a little slumped, breath a little heavier than you remember, and whispered to yourself, "How did I get here?" Know that you are not alone. Millions of people carry that same quiet question in their chest every morning, burying it beneath routine, responsibilities, and the gentle lie that this is just what happens when you get older. But deep down, a small voice inside you has always known better. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not condemned to drag yourself through each day exhausted, foggy, and chained to a list of pills that grows longer every year. No matter what the food industry, the TV ads, or your old habits have convinced you of, your body is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. Right now, as you read this, billions of cells are working relentlessly to keep you alive, fighting damage, clearing toxins, patching tiny wounds in your arteries, renewing your tissues while you sleep. Even at 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your heart can grow new pathways, your liver can regenerate, your blood sugar can stabilize. But for this quiet miracle to happen, you have to give your body the chance. You have to feed it like you want it to fight for you, because it always will if you let it. Breakfast is so much more than just a meal. It's a conversation with your future self. Each bite is a message. I care about you. I'm not giving up on you. I want you to stay here with me strong and clear and vibrant. Or it can be a message of neglect. I'm too busy. I'll deal with this later. One more bowl of sugar won't matter. But it does matter, because the damage you don't see is the most dangerous of all. The tiny tears in your artery walls, the inflammation that quietly hardens your blood vessels, the slow loss of elasticity that robs your heart of its strength. They all begin with choices so small they almost feel innocent. But repeated 1,000 mornings, they shape your destiny. Tomorrow morning, when the sun peeks through your window and you shuffle into the kitchen, pause, just for a heartbeat. Open that pantry door, look inside, and ask yourself, does this meal feed my healing, or does it feed my decline? Does this bite help my heart pump stronger, my blood flow freer, my brain think clearer? Or does it push me closer to the slow suffocation of clogged arteries brittle blood vessels, and a body that feels like it's aging faster than my spirit can handle. You deserve more than that. You deserve to wake up and feel your chest expand without tightness. To take a deep breath without worrying if this could be the day your heart betrays you. To walk across the room without feeling dizzy. To chase your grandkids without gasping for air. To sit at the breakfast table knowing you're fueling your body with love, not slow poison. Take back control, not by chasing perfection, but by making small, powerful choices that stack up like bricks in a fortress around your health. Swap the sugary cereal for real eggs and spinach. Replace that neon-colored yogurt with a bowl of plain Greek yogurt, fresh berries, and nuts. Drink a big glass of water before you even sip your coffee. Remind your body every morning that you're on its side, that you won't let the food. Industry's cheap shortcuts steal another decade from you. And if you feel that flicker of hope, that tiny spark that whispers, maybe I really can do this, don't let it die inside you. Share it. Pass it on. Tell your partner who eats donuts every morning because life's too short. Tell your friend who sighs when the doctor says, your cholesterol is climbing. Tell your aging parents who still believe that boxed cereal is heart healthy because the commercial told them so. Be the voice that gently wakes them up before it's too late. Be the reason someone gets to see another grandchild born, another anniversary celebrated, another sunrise enjoyed in a body that feels alive. Not betrayed. Together, we can break this cycle. Together, we can stand up to the industries that profit from our confusion and our cravings. Together, we can build kitchens that heal, not harm. And it all begins with the quiet courage to change what we put on our plate. When the world is still sleepy and our defenses are down, your breakfast should never be the thing that silently shortens your life. It should be the meal that makes you feel powerful, protected, and proud. It should be the first promise you make to your heart every single day. I want you to keep beating strong for me. It should be the reason you step into your day with shoulders back, head high, and the energy to pour into the people and moments that matter most. So tomorrow, and every tomorrow after that, stand in front of your reflection with a different question. Where can I go from here? Let that question fill you with possibility, not regret. Let it remind you that you are not too old, too broken, or too far gone to write a new ending for your story. And when you feel doubt creeping in, because it always does, remember that your body is always listening. Show it love in the most practical way you can. Feed it foods that fight for you. Fuel it like you plan to stick around, because you do. Stay informed. Stay awake. Stay stubborn enough to protect what matters most. Your time, your health, your life. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. For more guidance, real stories of people just like you who turned a single breakfast into a turning point, and practical tips that make this feel less like a burden and more like a gift, keep following Senior Health today. We are here to remind you, day after day, sunrise after sunrise, that your best years are not behind you. They're waiting for you at your breakfast table, one bite at a time.